Guys, special day for the Dirty Dog podcast. We're filming in North Point Room right now. We have Austin James coming on as we're just kind of getting in the groove of stuff. Do you just want to show them the setup? What do we got going on here? Guys, say what up. Say what up to the pod.
Hello.
We have a special team, guys. I'm so thankful for all these guys who came out here and helped me out, especially this motherfucker behind the camera. But guys, get excited. Let's do this. And what beer is this?
Light otter. Guys, this is awesome.
Yo guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dirty Dog podcast. Thank you for tuning in, guys. If you haven't already, go like and subscribe, all the shit we have out there already, guys. We have a special guest today, Austin James. Thank you so much, brother, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, brother, no worries. Yo, you've been all over the space. You've been all over the Vancouver land. You were just playing a show in Penthouse. How was that?
That was wicked, yeah. We were testing out a little new project I've been working on. It's kind of like a disco house remix, kind of bootleg from the 60s, brought more
Oh, yeah?
now. So it was cool, yeah. It was totally disco themed. So
Damn.
my buddy Cam and I, yeah, we kind of, through COVID, wanted to do this disco party. And, yeah, luckily COVID's kind of held off for a while so we could finally do it. But it was really fun. Everyone came dressed up. Kind of felt like you took the 1960s and threw it in 2022.
Damn, yeah. So what's the deal with doing it in the Penthouse? To my best knowledge, I'm pretty sure it's a strip club.
Yeah, it is. Full-time strip club. It's been there since... They're my neighbors down the street, so I know just about as much
Got
as
you.
they do. But it's been there since 1947. It's the oldest running strip club in Vancouver. And I think as of recent, they've kind of been wanting to transfer, like, Sunday night kind of, I guess, on long weekend, too, for us. We can rent it out, do more of, like, a DJ party.
Yeah.
Test out some concerts in there. But, yeah, when we throw parties... It's completely stripped down too, no pun intended.
Nice.
It's just all the tables are out.
Yeah.
We set up a stage, get lights and everything. And
So was it it was a sold out show, no?
yeah,
That's
which
crazy.
is pretty big for us too. Yeah, this is the first time doing like a different thing than we typically do Friends. So it's like, you know, house music. We'd have a band, some guys from Seco, Windsor, Argyle. And then this is the first one we've had like a themed event. So we tried this disco thing. And honestly, like, weren't entirely sure how it would go. We knew it would be like a fun party for everyone to dress up. But
yeah,
it was really exciting to see it sell out. And
yeah, man.
go as planned.
So you're doing it with Shally too.
Yeah,
We had Shally in the pod.
I saw that. Yeah, I know he's one of your roommates as well too.
Yeah.
He was saying, yeah, he's a great guy.
He's a good guy.
It's cool meeting him too, because I knew from Cam at Sutherland they played basketball growing up.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I got this buddy Charlie I've seen. He's just been killing it all over Vancouver.
Yeah.
He'd be a perfect fit. So. Yeah, we were all like planning the meeting there. He's like, I'll give him a call. And then he called him on the phone. He was just fired up.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say you haven't taken our DJ virginity yet on this podcast.
Yeah.
You're not the first, but we're
It's
happy to
alright.
have you, brother.
It's all right, man.
Yeah, man. But so you've been do you want to fix his mic real quick then?
There we go. Cheers.
Little audio guy here,
Yeah.
freaking out about it.
Awesome.
But yeah, I heard you're also on a roller team with Quinn and Ryan, a couple
Yeah.
of boys. Yeah, you were
I was-
playing last night.
I was just going to say that, yeah, they're so Quinn and Ryan, I think, have been on from the start, but we got the North Shore Grizzlies. So
Oh yeah,
it's fun. It's a bunch of guys, like, we grew up playing, Quinn and I, since, I guess, hockey 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then Ryan I played with in Major Midget as well. So it's fun, even though, like, everyone's gone to UBC or stopped playing hockey
Venturing
or whatnot.
out, yeah.
We're all playing roller hockey together, and it's essentially beer league, but
it is
pretty,
what it is,
it's pretty
right?
elite hockey too, so it's fun for me. I mean, it's a break from music and a
Yeah.
break from life to go play. But those guys are absolute goons. Like it's fun after, like, especially when it's nice out. We've had crap weather, so we can't do it, but we'll have kind of a get together in the parking lot after, have a couple beers. And
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's beer league.
it's beer league. It's
Beer
it's
league.
wicked.
Right
It's
on.
funny. Even the team that loses, like Pouliot's younger brother Sam has a team.
Yeah,
So we played them last night, and it's kind of, you know, win or lose, everyone has fun, and
That's
you
a
have
good
a couple
time.
beers in the parking lot.
right on.
Yeah, it's good.
So you guys are playing last night. You guys win last night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was a barn burner. We only had 7 guys.
What?
Yeah, Quinn. I think Quinn had an injury, or he had to
Guys
work
always
or
got an
something.
injury.
Yeah, but he's back. He said next week he's back. So we had 7 guys last night,
Nice.
and then I subbed for a team, the Booze Bags.
Oh, yeah, I
so-
heard about those guys.
Yeah, we played against these guys. It's a pretty crazy league too. There's this one team, the Great Guys. It's like a couple NHL guys, some prospects. So
What?
yeah, you kind of get out there. Like I said, I mean, I've just been DJing for the last few years, so I'm playing hockey again.
Yeah, just trying to get into the rhythm of things again.
And there's these Team Canada NHL draft picks coming out. They're wicked players, and that's a lot of fun.
Damn.
Yeah.
So more onto the music and stuff. You've been making you're more of a mashup DJ, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been making mashups for like a while. I remember me and my boys actually used to listen to a couple of your songs, like the old like Kendrick Lamar Backseat Freestyle, and you guys had you had the other G-Eazy one.
Yeah.
Like I remember like vividly remember like listening to those songs with my homies, not knowing who the fuck you were.
Yeah.
And one day I ended up meeting you through a couple boys, and they told me that you make music, and I kind of put 1 and 2 together, and I found out that you were the guy. And I remember going to my homie Ryan, being like, dude, I met the guy that made these songs last night. It was crazy. That was like 6-7 years ago or something.
I think I remember too, because you were buddies with, was it Curtis maybe?
Yeah.
Or Ryland, or I forgot, we were at a party or something.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like I didn't really know what that would kind of be like. I just made music for fun, and then it's cool to meet like years later too, people that were like, oh yeah, I heard your stuff in high school or whatnot. But yeah, honestly, I just kind of started out making it for fun,
and here you are.
It's
making noise in the city, man.
It's been a cool ride so far.
So how is it performing after COVID? I mean, you guys must be so thankful, as in DJs. You guys must be so thankful that you guys can actually step foot behind the fucking bar again and start performing for people. Yeah,
it was definitely a weird situation when it first hit, because I think a lot of artists were unsure like what they're gonna do, especially like there's some DJs that are more producers, they focus on their releases.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys make their money off playing shows and being in front of the crowd, and I mean there's a good mix that do both, but yeah, when your sole purpose is playing shows and making a living off that, COVID completely put an end to that.
Yeah.
And it's just a lack of fun too, because like as a DJ you kind of thrive off the energy of playing shows every weekend, and then when that's completely taken back, you're like
you're like an athlete, man. Like you need that like vibrant like sound from the crowd to like push yourself, you know?
It was crazy. At times it felt like it would just never come back, but I think luckily everyone kind of stayed patient. There's a lot of like those Twitch streams and stuff.
Yeah, I saw those.
I didn't hop on any of those, but I had some friends that said they were really fun.
Yeah, some guys blew up off that shit.
Yeah. I think it was cool with COVID too. It was like a chance where you could kind of make or break your next steps, and kind of like utilize like VR stuff and online stuff. So I think in the long run it'll probably help a lot of artists. But I know for a fact that every DJ is excited to be back, and I don't know, you kind of, once you take something away, it makes you want to do it more.
For sure, man.
People are really thriving right now.
It's crazy how creative people got throughout that pandemic, and like to see what they came out of with it.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time.
Yeah, you kind of had to like adapt and get better in a lot of senses.
Yeah.
It was cool.
So you're also doing, I mean, before COVID, you were like flying out, going to universities and like doing all that stuff. Are you going to pick that stuff up again?
Yeah. So back, I guess, pre-COVID, well, I've done it since I was, I guess 18. So in 2016, it's been a pretty steady flow of college shows. And then up until 2019, I made the move to LA and then was doing it full time out of there, which was kind of a little easier because you have a show, you just fly to LAX. It's direct flight.
Yeah.
And then with COVID, I came home back to Vancouver, and then everything was shut down till about last fall. So last fall stuff started opening up in the college market, and they were doing shows at all their venues and stuff. So yeah, last year I kind of got back into it, and it was kind of a weird time, like promotion-wise. Like it was kind of unacceptable to like, I mean, you could play shows, but to post about it just felt wrong a little bit in Canada.
People would give you shit.
Yeah. But like I got my visa last fall and then did all my shows. I kind of decided I was just going to play them and not post about it.
Yeah.
But it was a good fall and then a good spring here too. So I'm hoping nothing happens this fall and I can continue doing some more college stuff. But yeah, it's been a really cool experience and kind of like something that's just so foreign to us Canadians, because we have UBC, which is pretty crazy. And I know you go back out east, you have Western, but you go to some of those state schools and it's like...
Oh, it's like not even comparable almost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even compare UBC to like
anywhere in Arizona or
Yeah.
anywhere in LA. Like
It's
those places are
insane.
nuts.
I didn't realize too, like there's a whole market out there for like you go to Indiana 500 for instance,
Yeah.
and they have each fraternity, each sorority, they all group together and they book artists. So the first year I ever went there, they had guys like Travis Porter and like I think one frat had 2 Chainz. It's insane, and they just compile all their money. They throw these banger parties, and
Damn.
yeah, until I went the first time, I had no idea this was even a scene. And
So have you've gotten your foot in that door?
yeah, so right around 2016 would have been my first show at Indiana, and then 2017, I think there was about 10 shows. 2018, about 15. So every year it's kind of ramped up.
Yeah.
And then it's unfortunate COVID hit when it did, because 2019 was kind of my big year. I had, I think, about 20 to 30 shows. And then, yeah, it's kind of a weird situation even with the college shows, because it's not like your standard club circuit where you can play like a Monday or Tuesday,
Yeah.
wherever the city might have like a random night. So it's usually like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe a Wednesday if you're lucky.
Yeah.
So kind of booking those touring schedules, it's a little more harder to do so, because it's like 3 shows there. All right, come back to Vancouver Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, fly out.
A lot
come
of on the
back.
road shit.
Yeah. So it was nice living in LA, because it's kind of a quicker 2-hour flight or whatever from Dallas.
You're like kind of in the central hub where you
Yeah.
can just like go anywhere.
Exactly. So it would be nice to one day maybe go back to LA, but I don't know. You're kind of spoiled, I feel like, when you're from Vancouver. I mean, I'm sure you guys know as well. Like,
Yeah.
you just look out, you see the mountains, you see the water. It's a beautiful city. I mean, the summers, you fall in love with the
It
city
hits
even
different
more.
for sure.
Yeah.
But we're not having so great weather right now.
I know.
What is it? It's like June right now? It's like
Yeah.
pouring rain still.
June 9. I think they said it's an atmospheric river too. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good at all. So what was like a highlight in your career so far, like of being at a university and stuff? Like what was that show that changed your mind, thinking that like I'm gonna do this full time, this is it?
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's cheesy to say the first one I did, but honestly, it was a pretty cool experience. So basically, was playing junior hockey at the time, around 18 years old, and
Yeah.
then I just got like a random message on Instagram. It was like, "Hey man, we're booking a show for Little 500 at IU. Would you be down to play or open for us?" So I said, "Yeah, sure, whatever." So I kind of shot back and forth with the guy,
Yeah.
and then it started getting more serious. So I was like, this could be a real show. So kind of like at the time, 18, I talked to my parents, made sure everything's okay. They're like, "Oh, we're a little worried. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, you're going to a fraternity. Like, what's it?" And it was kind of just to open up, so it wasn't really much of like a paid opportunity. It was like kind of you can come play and see what you like. And then, long story short, they got on a phone call with one of the kids and FaceTimed him. He was like, "I'll make sure it's all
Just
good."
to
Like,
prove your
yeah.
innocence.
So
Yeah.
this guy Ian, back in the day, who's a good friend now, he talked to them, made sure everything's okay. So basically got flown out to IU and played this show for Travis Porter, and it was crazy. I didn't really know what to expect. I just brought my DJ board, got there. It's this massive house, this huge stage set up. They're like, "All right, man, like you're gonna be playing for an hour, like we'll do your sound check." And I didn't even know what sound check was at that time. I literally
No
just
way.
made music in my bedroom and
Yeah.
came down. And next thing you know, I'm at IU. And then at the time when I was 18, rather than like booking a hotel and doing all that, they're like, "You know what? Why don't you just stay at our house? Like we have an extra room. You can come chill
No
with us."
way.
Like, so I got the full college experience, the first ever show. And then, yeah, it was funny. I flew in the night before the show, and then the day they had a day party. So I had some Keystone Lights or whatever they enjoyed back down there.
Damn.
And then, yeah, I think I had a little nap, went for my sound check, had some dinner with the fraternity.
Oh,
So they
yeah.
have a cafeteria. It's pretty hilarious looking back at it. And then show-wise, came on stage for the opening set, and yeah, hopped on, played my stuff. It's probably about like 200 people. Near the end was about 500. And then,
Wow, for your first show.
Yeah.
eh? That's crazy.
it's crazy just like looking up and being like, "Damn, that's a lot of people."
It's
And
like
then
a green screen or something.
Yeah.
It's like ocean of people.
It's honestly like too much people to really even think like anything. Like, I don't know. You're just on this adrenaline high when you're
For
up there
sure,
too.
man.
Yeah, and then at that time, Travis Porter, like one of the guys came up. He's like, "Yeah, they're not gonna be here for like another hour. Are you cool to play?" I mean, you're just standing up there. You can't really say no. So
Yeah.
I ended up playing like a 2.5-hour set, and then it was pretty cool to see that, because at that point, probably went from 500 to about 1,500 people in this backyard.
Oh my
just
god.
Like, felt like Project X, especially
Sounds
being
like it.
being 18 at the time, it was
That's young, man.
yeah.
Being that young and being on stage is like, I feel like you don't really like understand what
Yeah.
you're going through at that time.
Oh yeah, there's a big learning curve from that too, and yeah, it's fun looking back at it and like remembering that first feeling of being up there. But
Yeah.
I definitely say, like, aside from music, I'm more of like a kind of quiet kid, introverted a little bit, and then when it's on stage, it's like there's just so much people looking at you. You just got to do your thing.
I
So,
guess you've like learned to adapt to that. Like you're
Yeah.
just like so zoned in. You're so
Yeah.
dialed now that it doesn't even bother you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many people could be out there.
it's true. Yeah, and even like watching the Avicii documentary, hearing some stuff that, like, I mean, it was cool to see like how a DJ thought, and then a lot of people I feel like kind of more relate to that, because there's been a bunch of other musicians I've met that are the same way, and then like you'll go to one of their shows and it's like, oh, there's my buddy who's like shy to talk to anyone at a party, and he's just killing it on stage, like
Yeah.
entertaining. He's got the mic, he's like headbanging. So
No.
it's a weird world, but I guess again you kind of learn to adapt, and when everyone's looking at you, you gotta
Yeah.
do something.
What's your favorite university to play at? Not locally, obviously, but
Yeah,
like,
I'd probably say Alabama is like the best university experience in terms of just party.
yeah.
I mean, every time I've been there, I've seen a football game, so it might be a little biased.
Oh,
but
nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's just got the real like American feel. USC is pretty cool in LA. It's really close to everything too, so a lot of those kids will party and then go out downtown LA. That's definitely up there. There's one more, Santa Barbara. It's just up the coast from LA.
Yeah.
So the kids literally go to school and they surf and then they throw these frat parties.
Such a West Coast
Yeah.
vibe, eh?
Yeah, I had a toga party there. And that was the first show I played that they had pyro.
Yeah.
And the kids were like, yeah, we were going to get CO2, but the flames were a lot cheaper, so I hope you like flames. And the first drop was just like melted my eyebrows off.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
It was probably one of the crazier
More
parties.
dangerous experiences
Yeah.
you've probably been through.
Yeah, it seemed I guess they took on the liability, but nothing happened.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You're still standing, brother.
Yeah. Oh,
Right
yeah.
on. So you're getting into the things of going back to universities and stuff, and like you just did a show at Penthouse. Where's your next show?
It's looking like it might be actually back in Alabama in August.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of right now is a bit of the quiet time in terms of college, and then right around like mid-August they start booking for Welcome Week and Homecoming.
Yeah, like back to school type shit.
Yeah. So if things work out, it could be like a nice 3 to 4, maybe 5 shows or in the first like August through September.
Yep.
And then usually quiets down, and then I think right around October they start doing like Halloween parties.
Yeah.
It's kind of like each school has their different weeks too. It's funny too in the fall because you have the mix of like Welcome Week, Homecoming. Football season's back, so like some places you go to Michigan, they'll throw a party just for a football game, and they'll bring in
Huge
like
party.
yeah, and they'll bring in guys like 2 friends and stuff for that,
Oh,
which
wow.
is it's pretty crazy. So yeah, I think it's kind of like start looking to book most fall stuff in the next month here, and then
Nice.
yeah, I have a booking team that does a lot of college stuff, so it's kind of like a constant talking with them, figuring out a plan to
A
kind
lot
of
of
really
back
attack.
and forth.
Yeah.
So 2 friends, you were saying those are the guys that do the Big Booty Mix?
Yeah.
I just saw them in the Commodore like 2 weeks ago.
I saw they just came. How was that?
It was pretty fun, man.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun. My buddy listens to the Big Booty Mixes, and like he got me onto them. Like they're pretty sick, man. And
Yeah.
like seeing him live, I was like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
Here he is, you know?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
they have-
no, it was a good show.
They have a wicked set. I saw them once in LA too, and I didn't really know what to expect. I just like kind of chatted with them a little bit on Instagram because
Yeah.
we were both in the college scene, and they're really funny guys too. Like it's kind of like I don't know, you just expect people to kind of be different from their Instagram, but you meet them, they're just the same funny
Just
guys.
the same way they put themselves out
Yeah.
as, eh?
And all their big booty stuff it's crazy seeing how much that's affected like the college market too. Like I think it was literally every single college has probably reached out to them to play
Really?
shows, and then to see them even do that and now tour with all their own music, and they brought actually some of my good friends, Coastal. They were on tour with them, and they did like a bus tour and stuff.
Oh,
So
nice.
they said it was really fun hanging out with them and just like Kind of feels like you're almost on like a hockey team. Tour
Yeah,
bus
you're just
going
on a
around
bus with a bunch of boys, just
Yeah.
drinking, partying,
and playing music.
and then staying dialed, obviously doing what you
Yeah.
got to do.
Yeah. So it was yeah, I wish I went to that show too at the Commodore. I saw like kind of last minute that they were coming. A bunch
Yeah.
of people were going, but
I didn't even know until like 2 days before. My buddy
Yeah.
was just like, "I bought you a ticket. We're fucking
We're
going." I
going.
was like, "Okay, let's go."
that's good.
Where's your favorite place to play in Van?
Probably I've only played a handful. I played MIA, Venue, obviously the Penthouse. Venue was a really cool spot because it was the first time I've played like in Vancouver with kind of a stage setup.
Yeah.
And LED wall.
When was that?
Probably back in 2018.
Nice.
It was at the end of like a college tour, so I called it like the Homecoming Vancouver show.
Nice.
And it was in December.
Is that you that makes the name for these?
Yeah, it
events?
kind of depends. So the one that was with Graded Events, and we kind of had a meeting and determined like, you've been doing college stuff. Why don't we call it something where you're coming home? So I was like, oh well, Homecoming sounds like a good fit.
Yeah, that fits.
Yeah, and then that one was probably I'd say my favorite one in Vancouver. I'd like to play like one day maybe Celebrities or Levels and
Yeah.
see what that's like. Because I know like even speaking to Chally, he said Levels is one of his favorite clubs, and it's got kind of like separate rooms where it's different vibes of music.
It's weird.
too. Yeah,
I like
Have you
it,
been?
but it's weird, cool. It's just
Yeah.
like you go downstairs to the bathrooms. There's like a DJ like on the
Yeah.
bottom floor. There's a DJ right when you walk in.
Yeah.
Then the main stage is just like crazy. Like they have crazy lights, crazy like everything,
Yeah.
like visuals and everything.
Is that the same? I know there's one in Kelowna. I don't know if it's called Levels.
It is called Levels.
Is it
but
the same
it's-
company or different?
It could. I'm not totally sure.
I think.
I actually haven't been to that one, but one of my ex-girlfriends always used to go.
Yeah, I
Tell me
know.
about it.
I think it was Quinn maybe was telling me that he liked going to Levels. But I know anyone who goes to Kelowna, you're down for a good time there, and I don't think you can really have a bad time when you're on the
No,
lake
you're
or
just boating all day at the
Yeah.
beach and you're hitting Earls for food.
Yeah.
You're going to all these clubs.
And
There's
then
only
you're
like four.
downtown.
What? There's only like 4 good clubs in.
Yeah, I don't know
Kelowna?
them too much, but I saw the other day on Instagram, one I forget the DJ's name. He was playing there. It just looked wild though.
Kelowna's blown up, man.
Yeah,
You can't buy a house there anymore.
Yeah, I know.
You can't go there anymore. It's just so populated.
Yeah.
But no, it's good.
yeah. People are going to like a Soyuz, I think now. Oliver's like the big spot. I know people are moving, or people's parents, I guess, are retiring.
Yeah,
going out there.
Well, it's like they move out there to like potentially get the quiet, and then they get all
Yeah.
these kids during the summer because it's such nice weather.
Yeah, just party.
Unless it's fucking forest fire season. Here in Vancouver, BC, we have like crazy forest fires up north that like bleed down all the smoke.
Yeah.
Like we've been smoked out a couple summers here in Vancouver.
Yeah, I just saw on the news. I sound like such a boomer now, but I was watching the news the other day, and they were saying that we're looking lucky for forest fire season. That all this rain we've been having, we might be okay. But
Well,
you gotta
hopefully
see
we
it.
have like a clear summer. I mean, like it's good. Yeah, what you're saying right now is good for like the land and stuff. But like, I hope we have somewhat of a
Dude, I
good
know.
summer, a long one at least. I mean, we've been dealing with like 9 months of rain.
Yeah, it never ends.
Yeah.
Especially May too. Usually May is a little bit nicer, and then June you just get dumped with rain. But I think we got robbed of both.
We
months.
definitely got robbed.
Yeah.
But so you're loving the show scene. Are you tied up with a girl right now, or do you have a?
I am. Yeah, I have a girlfriend now.
So what's that like? Like, what's that trust going like to a show and stuff? I'm not judging you at all, but
No,
like
no.
obviously some girls like have these boyfriends that are like you that are DJs and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like that trust level is like not where it should be up
Yeah.
to par.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation to be in, and like I've been able to kind of talk to some of my DJ friends along the way.
Yeah,
It's funny because like the consensus we've all kind of come to is it's almost better having a girlfriend through it. I think it's easier like on myself personally, but yeah, I couldn't imagine like if I was in her position and like my boyfriend was out partying and playing shows and stuff. But I think yeah, it might be cheesy to say, but you just gotta trust your relationship
Yeah.
with whoever you're with, and if it makes sense to stay together and trust it, then
yeah. It's an understanding for your partner
Mhm.
because she has to understand that you're doing this as like a job. You're doing this to make
Yeah.
money. You're doing this to get out there and promote yourself and
Yeah.
market yourself.
that's another thing too. I think that's almost a misconception in the industry is like when you see a DJ, they're getting their free bottle service and they're there to party. But a lot of guys, the whole day of a DJ is oftentimes you wake up at 6 in the morning, you're doing a 10-hour day of travel to get somewhere, check in your hotel, quickly have a shower, get there, meet everyone, do your sound check, go get a bite to eat, come back, have some drinks. You got to be professional through all of this too.
Yeah.
And then, if you are a touring DJ, you probably have a show the next day with the same travel day. So there's really not a lot of time to party and get up to antics.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to be professional through it all. And at the end of the day, it is a business for a lot of people.
For sure.
So I think a lot more people are kind of realizing that, especially out of COVID too. Like, your time management as an artist is big too, and it's different for a lot of guys as well. Some people have more help from their managers or their assistant managers, or some people even book all their travel or do day-to-day stuff. I can only speak for myself, but I've done pretty much all that on my own.
Yeah.
From the get-go, at least. So it's kind of when I played these college shows, I know people are like, "Oh, you must have so much fun, like partying. Like, what do you guys do after? Do you go out?" And it's like, honestly, I'm back. I'm sleeping, and I have to get up at 4 a.m. for another show.
Well,
so.
it's almost like especially nowadays, because like COVID went on, people had so much time to think about like, okay, what am I gonna do now? It's like it's almost become competitive because there's so many people doing it now, but there are people like you that are standing out, and like other DJs or artists or whatever you are. Yeah. Like, it's super competitive. There's so many people in every field that you work in now.
Yeah, I think, and even with COVID too, a lot of people, like, since they were taking that time where they didn't have to be out in the world, like partying or going to have like drinks with people at restaurants, like everyone's at home, so you have like 2 years to kind of focus on your craft. So maybe you want to do graphic design, or you want to pick up another course, and then everyone's coming out of that with the same knowledge or the same degree or whatever they picked up in those 2 years. So especially even like on TikTok now, I've noticed since it's out of COVID, like the TikToks used to be like bedroom stuff, making mashups or making mixes, and now it's like, here's the song I made in the summer, like this is gonna be song of the summer.
Yeah.
It's all like partying scene. So people are like, they're kind of over COVID now, and it's like, all right, we're back to like which song's gonna make you want to rage in a club or festival. So yeah, it's weird. I know everyone keeps talking about COVID, and then people probably get sick of it, but it's
it
crazy.
was part of our life for so long. It's like, how could you not speak on it?
Yeah, especially in your 20s too. I mean, I couldn't imagine there being a good age where you're going through COVID.
No.
But I feel like our age too, we're kind of in like the fun years. You're almost like going from like your fun years into more serious like young adulthood, and COVID, it really made you mature quickly too, and kind of figure life out.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for the kids that were like, obviously, are you 97?
Yeah, 97.
So we're 97s. I feel bad for the kids that are like born 2002, 2003, 2004. Like, those kids got fucking snagged of their lives.
Oh, yeah.
Like, those kids were going to high school wearing masks. They weren't allowed to be near their friends. They had to social distance. Like, to me and you, we understand.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. It's the laws of the government. I don't know. We're not going to get too much into COVID here, but like those kids got fucked. Like, those kids mentally, like, I couldn't imagine what I would be thinking or doing if I was told to do that at that age, and not like be around my friends, be around my family, go out and experience like these, like when you go out and party, like that's part of building your social skills as well.
Totally.
And these kids had like 2 years gone, and like that was such an important part of their lives to just like find who they are and what they can become.
Oh yeah, especially even thinking like the graduating classes too. I remember being
like,
on my deck,
oh my God.
and then all of a sudden it's like beep beep beep. They have this whole parade of graduating kids. It's like, man, I couldn't imagine having to do that for graduation.
I don't think anyone could until you're actually in it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy. And I feel for that age group too. That's the thing where I think I was like, oh, this sucks for me, but I couldn't imagine being 4 years younger.
No, man.
Like,
it's just it's honestly just like something we'll obviously remember for the rest of our lives, and hopefully like if we get to the point where we have kids, this world is so fucked up, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I want kids. But like when our kids like get older, like we'll tell them about this thing. What the fuck? You know, like it'll be such a weird thing. They'll probably be learning about it in Socials 10 or something.
Everything will be on the metaverse by then.
Yeah, we're all gonna have headsets on in our bedrooms, so skinny, haven't even hooked up to IVs. Like,
oh, it's a crazy world.
So have you ever tried to step foot into the music festival world?
Yeah, that's kind of not tough, but a tricky situation, I think, if you don't have like full management.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm just making excuses for not playing.
No.
But that would be like a goal of mine, is to play like a Contact, or even what's the one they do? Faded in the Park.
Yeah.
Something in Vancouver would be wicked, but I just haven't had luck. I remember like being 18, kind of reaching out to these festivals, being like, hey, I'm playing a lot of college stuff. It'd be awesome. Like, I'd love to play on your lineup. And in that case too, like, I'm not even really looking at a money point of view. Just like the opportunity to play there would be wicked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just never really had any luck in terms of like invitations to play it. Or another part too is if you have like management that's in with these booking agencies, then I think they consider you more for this festival.
Yeah.
I don't really know how all the back end goes, but it's definitely like I'd say a top 5 goal of mine to play a festival. I think that's where you run into people that are there that are really focused on the music too. Like a lot of times playing fraternity events, I've kind of like accepted that it's more of a party, so you need to play like open format, kind of whatever's gonna
cater to everyone kind of deal.
Like at the time, like if you didn't play Mo Bamba when Mo Bamba's in, like you're not doing your college
what
DJ.
What a fucking song that got
Yeah.
released, eh?
You just press play on that. Like if you have a crappy transition or whatever, you just and people are going wild. But yeah, no, I think at the festival stage you get to kind of showcase a little more of your art form and kind of trust your musical side, and that's where you can kind of curate a set that's more like you want your ups, your downs, and then bring everyone in, and you got your visuals blaring and everyone's having a good time. So yeah, festival would be a really cool experience. I think it's nice, at least in Vancouver, they're doing them again.
Yeah,
no
man,
contact.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I think Faded has been 2 years now, and then last year's people who bought tickets, because since they canceled again, I think they've offered like $50 drink ticket, and maybe it's a free ticket or something.
Well, they have to keep the like business afloat and like have a reputable company.
Oh yeah, but I've never been to one, but I've just heard from everyone like
you've never been to Faded?
No.
What?
I know. I gotta get to one. I've only ever been to, I guess one festival in Indiana. It was a Snake Pit, and then it was with my buddy Ian from IU. He was like, "Come down, it's the Indy 500 race. Like it's a crazy weekend here. They have." So basically, like the track runs around the outside like an oval. It's basically a NASCAR track, but they're all running F1 cars, or that speed at least. And then in the middle, it's just the whole time is, and it's just kids just jumping.
Oh my god!
So the whole race, they have a festival. Yeah, it was Adventure Club, Action Bronson of all people.
No way.
Yeah, Oral Grime, Marshmello, and Zed.
Damn, that's a pretty fire lineup. Though.
Yeah, and I think Guy Fieri came out one year. Or no, it was Ric Flair. So he came out, made his appearance. All of a sudden, he just woo!
No way.
Yeah,
it's always good for it.
Yeah. So that festival was the first thing I saw of just like music in one place, and it was cool being on the other side of things because when you're on stage, it's like you have your own vision of the crowd, and then being in the crowd, looking up and experience it all.
That's me.
Yeah,
I only know it from one perspective. You only know it from the other.
But it's cool being in the crowd and like looking up and being like, man, that's wicked. Like.
It's crazy just like have that like experience and that like you were saying before, that adrenaline that goes through your body when you're probably on stage. I don't know, but I can obviously imagine. Like, it's a crazy feeling. Even
in the festival too, I feel like it's more shocking because I've seen footage of guys who are playing up there, and usually in a crowd, I think the biggest crowd I probably played was like 2,500 to 3,000. But you go to some of these festivals and it's like, well, the Snake Pit I think is around 30 to 40,000 people.
It's crazy.
And then you see like Tomorrowland and stuff. It's just
and Coachella and shit.
Yeah,
like, I didn't know that like 500,000 people attended Coachella.
Yeah,
how's that possible?
It's insane.
How do you fucking manage that many people
all in this one small desert town?
Yeah.
I think that would be either as a concert goer or I mean obviously to play would be wicked, but Coachella is probably number one on the bucket list.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
I've heard Burning Man, which is a completely different game in itself, but I have some roommates that went there when I was living in LA, and they said it was just like an experience of its own.
Yeah, it's definitely more of an experience than like an adventure. Like I'm not a big hallucinogenic guy. Like I don't fuck with those drugs, but like that's what obviously what Burning Man is. Like you go there to take acid or do whatever, and
it's like Shambhala kind of.
Like I don't personally, I don't really fuck with those places, but
I probably couldn't hang with the people there either. It's cool just seeing a community of like when I saw what Burning Man was, I just thought it was a festival.
Yeah. And
then found out, it was more predominantly like a drug festival.
Yeah.
An awakening. But I saw like some of the shrines and stuff they have. Like, I think Beeple, that artist who does he does like NFTs. He's one of the big guys. He created this big like sculpture of a head out there.
Yeah.
And then just seeing the pictures of everyone dressed up, it's like it almost looks like Mad Max. And
Dude,
everyone's
yes.
in the middle of this desert.
It's
and then they clean it all up, and it's basically gone within 2 days.
Yeah, it's
so.
no Pemberton 2016.
No, so that was the other one I missed out on. The 1 year it canceled, I bought tickets for.
Though that was 2017 when they went
2017.
bankrupt or something.
Yeah.
Because our Canadian dollar was so down.
Yeah, and then I think they booked all American artists too, which maybe was a red flag when everyone saw the lineup. But at that time, I think it was like you're basically paying an additional 50% to get these artists.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Which is insane. But yeah, I've heard Pemberton is. I missed out the 1 year. It was like Weezer, Billy Talent, Kendrick Lamar.
I think
Drake.
that was 2015.
2015. Yeah. I just remember hearing like. I'm a big punk rock guy too.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I remember
yeah.
like hearing Billy Talent was just like.
Billy Talent was definitely a staple growing up,
Yeah.
actually.
They just played here. I don't know if they ended up playing the show because I think someone had COVID, but they were supposed to play. I think it was Pacific Coliseum or the one beside it, Peony Forum,
Oh, yeah.
which would have been a really cool show. I forget what I was doing that weekend. I didn't make it out, but
Tickets were probably expensive.
yeah, I mean they're a big band.
Yeah.
I saw Sum 41's also doing it's called Blame Canada tour with Simple Plan,
Oh, yeah.
but it's only in America,
What?
which is weird. I hope they come to Vancouver.
Well, there's only like 40. There's not even 40 million people that live in Canada.
Yeah.
So, like, the market's just so small. There's more
It's-
people that live in California than Canada.
in all of
alone,
Canada. That's crazy.
which is just mind blowing. So, I'm actually going to a festival next weekend. I'm going to one called, you ever heard of Beyond Wonderland?
I have. Is that in LA?
No, it's in Quincy, Washington. It's at the Gorge.
Oh.
But
Wow.
do you know Nostalgics?
Yeah.
So she lives on the North Shore too.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her on the pod too.
You
But
should definitely.
she's playing on the main stage there.
Wow.
And I didn't know that she was friends with a bunch of my friends.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know who she was. I just listened to her music. It's
She's
kind of the same
wicked.
case with you, like where I was
Yeah.
listening to your shit and like I found out who you were. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then
That's-
her.
I think that's the last show I went to in Vancouver was she was playing at Celebs. It was
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
hometown show. And then, I just knew through like even my roommates when I lived in LA, they were in the house scene. And then they're like, oh, have you heard of Nostalgic? She's from Vancouver. And at the time I didn't really know because I was more like trap mashup scene.
Yeah.
Not super into house at the time. And then they're like, yeah, check out her stuff. So yeah, sure enough, this is back I think when she was starting her project up, and she's been killing it ever since.
Yeah.
And really good sound too. Like the bass house scene is, I feel like, pretty tough to crack, and she's done a really good job of like being different from like your average.
She definitely
bass
stood
house.
out.
Yeah.
Because you hear her name pretty much
Yeah.
almost everywhere.
Oh yeah, and even on like the Spotify playlist too. Like any of the bass house ones or house playlists. I think there's one called like New Selectas or something, and she's always on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know she's from the North Shore though.
Yeah,
She,
that's so funny. She's from West Van, I think, or
Okay.
somewhere like Sentinel area.
wow,
Yeah.
that's wicked.
Small world, man.
I think so. That's like there's, I think from the North Shore. So there's Jules who went to Seacove.
Yeah. I heard.
Young Bombs, one went to Seacove, one went to Argyle, and then I think Akali maybe, or he went somewhere in Vancouver. And then Nostalgics from West Van. So
Yeah,
that's
man.
pretty good for Vancouver.
Gotta count
I guess.
yourself in there too, brother.
Yeah, I'll throw Windsor in there. Yeah.
It's a pretty successful area over here on the other side of the bridges, eh?
Yeah. We're doing all right.
what's your goal? What's your focus on moving forward into this music industry?
Yeah, I think it's kind of transformed from the start. It was predominantly like come out with an album of some sorts for Austin James, or kind of a more artistic sound. But as I kind of started releasing more singles here and there and playing them out in the college scene, I kind of realized like what Austin James is people are known, or Austin James is known for like the mashups. It's like, what can you do with Kendrick Lamar and make it cool? What can you do with Drake and make it cool? That's kind of where I found like my niche fan base in. So it was tough, like once being known for that and then playing a song that I made like with an artist.
Yeah.
And even though it takes probably 4 times as long to make a song and you put it out, it's like you play it out and everyone's like, whatever kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I've decided with that, it's like kind of more focus Austin James as solely like the mashup project and kind of remixes and focus more on like college type party music.
Yeah.
And then through COVID, I listened to a lot of my parents' old records, and it was like, stuff from the 60s, 70s, even the 80s, like new wave records. But just recently in the last year, I've gotten into disco music. So I've kind of found this niche genre that is like classic rock, disco songs flipped into house songs.
Yeah.
So there's this new project I'm working on called Mac Jacket, which is going to be predominantly like it's essentially house music, but it's if you take your dad's favorite rock song, put 128 behind it,
Yeah.
and play it out. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for.
Damn,
so
that's different.
Yeah.
That's really different.
it's different. It's kind of a fun music too. That's what was nice about the Penthouse show was like I could kind of finally try it out and see what people like.
Yeah.
And yeah, disco's made a weird comeback on TikTok. And it was funny because I started working on it, and then sure enough, there was that Gimme, Gimme, Gimme one that just came out. And
Yeah.
seeing the reaction, it was like, okay, I think I might be onto something now. Like, because seeing those types of videos and how it did on social media, people were loving this new disco trend. So I don't know if it's here to stay forever, but it's definitely kind of a hot topic
That's the
right
whole
now.
point of a trend, man. It's only here for a long time. Or it's
Exactly.
only here for a short time, not a long time.
Yeah. So that's kind of the fun project I'm doing for Mac Jacket. And then goals with that would just be to kind of get more into a club circuit and
Yeah.
then focus that as more of like an artistic project. And then the Austin James one is more of a fun project because that's where it stemmed from.
Yeah.
I'd honestly like made it back in high school in a math class and put two songs together, and then I did it for fun because I liked the White Panda and these other mashup artists.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I can do that. Let's try it out, and then put it on SoundCloud. Came back to it and was like, this is pretty crazy.
Damn.
And then obviously I fell in love with it after you see like people reaching out. Hey, this is really cool. Like, I
Yeah,
hope you
man. It's
stick
all the
with it.
support that you're seeing just
Yeah.
like makes you so much more motivated.
Honestly, yeah. And I didn't really expect for any of that to come to. Again, I just made it for fun and to see the transformation of like once you make a song or a piece of work and someone lets you know that it's like affected them in a positive, I guess even and or a negative way. But hearing if anyone's been affected by something you've put out is a really addictive feeling too. And I mean, that's probably the biggest gift of being a musician too, is hearing like if it's made someone happy. And
The best part about what you're saying right now is that you didn't try to do that.
yeah,
It just came naturally. And
Which
that's
I-
like what makes you who you are as this
Yeah.
great artist, because you
Yeah.
literally just did this for fun and you're seeing it change other people's perspective on you.
it's a really cool feeling too. I think that's like even seeing how it works with releasing music and stuff, and Instagram's kind of gotten a little more like cringe with like everyone check out my single, like swipe up now.
Yeah.
But it's funny because like the more natural, the more you like don't really care about like following this blueprint of putting music out, and the more you just be yourself. Like, it's so cringe again, but it's true. Like people just recognize like if you're just being you.
Well, it's
It'll
also
transform
difficult because people like look at it as it's like a strategy now, so it's all fornicated. People
Yeah.
are doing this, like they're following this plan
Yeah.
of like becoming successful, and it's like so many people don't succeed because they're following that plan. But
Yeah.
like if you're just who you are naturally and people love you for who you are,
Yeah.
such a different book to read. Like
It's so
so
true.
different.
Yeah. You just gotta stick to your gut too, and have fun with it is another thing that's like kind of a big thing I feel like in music. Once you get away from having fun and it starts to feel like work. I mean, it is your job at the end of the day when you're a musician,
course,
but like
of course.
you got to get back to like why you're doing it, like what inspires you, what makes it fun for you, and at the end of the day you got to enjoy it too.
Of course.
It's cool.
Yo, so I gotta ask you,
Hmm.
who's winning the cup?
Oh, I hate to say it, but I think Tampa Bay might win the cup.
You think
again.
they're gonna beat
Yeah.
the Avalanche?
I think so. I just heard Nazem Kadri's out now too.
Is
so,
he?
Yeah.
From that injury from Draisaitl?
So I think he's doing a 7-week rehab on his finger.
Yikes.
Yeah.
You don't think Makar McKinnon and the boys have it in the bank?
I think honestly the Avalanche could win it, but I'm just team 3-peat now.
I don't want to see Tampa Bay win 3
No,
years
I
in a
know.
row. I don't want to see Maroon say he's
No.
won a cup 4 years in a row.
No, we've seen enough of Fat Maroon.
But the thing I Tampa Bay is definitely a huge playoff team. Like they're
Yeah.
playoff like focused.
Oh yeah.
They're what you're saying. I think they'll probably win unless the Rangers have something in the bank. I think it's today they're playing
Today's
at 5 o'clock.
game 5. It could go either way too. I know I was talking to a buddy at hockey, and he was saying he just thinks whatever team gets through is not getting by Avalanche.
Yeah,
But it's like every team right now could win it.
I think that kid line for the Rangers is pretty sick, eh? Like those kids know how to fuck shit
They're
up.
nasty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it like Philippe Hedel and Lafreniere?
Yeah, Lafreniere's fire, eh?
That's the thing that I don't know. Like even the Rangers could win it because they don't have a single bad player. I mean, in the NHL you don't, but like all 4 lines can score goals.
And all the goalies, these goalies that are
They're
all in
wicked.
the top 3 right now. There's only 3 teams left, but like,
Yeah.
well, we'll see 2 teams in
Yeah.
by the end of 3 more days or whatever. Like the goalies are nuts, man.
Yeah.
Like they're on it.
And that's the thing. Like I feel like in NHL teams too, your goalie's got to be your best player. And like Shesterkin's probably the best on Rangers. Vasilevsky's probably the best on Tampa.
Vasilevsky's like no match for anyone. He's
Yeah.
in his own category.
He's so good.
So dialed all the
Yeah.
time.
I snagged him in my pool this year too. One of my buddies, he picked Hellebuck because he thought Vasilevsky was
Oh,
gone.
really?
So I got that snake pick, but
Did you ever see the new Batman movie?
no, I haven't.
Okay, there's this guy named the Riddler that's in the Batman movie. He's this perverted looking weird little dude. He's not little, but he looks like Vasilevsky behind the mask.
Really?
Like he's just so dialed in his
Yeah.
craft and it looks so weird. But he's like he loves the puck. Like
Yeah.
Vasilevsky, just you see him behind the mask
His
on the
eyes are
camera.
just
He's
wide
just
open.
so yeah.
Yeah. It'd be fun to see their games too. I was in Tampa for one show back in January. But I flew out the next day, but I was planning to see them play Detroit,
Oh yeah.
which is a pretty heated rival too. But yeah, they're just a wagon. I don't know. They're like they haven't really lost any players either.
No, they've been pretty lucky and they're all big boys too.
Yeah.
Thing I like about Tampa Bay is I don't know if you ever played Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
they all like that roster sounds like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 campaign. Like
Literally.
Sergachev,
Kucherov.
Kucherov,
Yeah.
Stamkos, like dude point. Like,
Vasilevsky.
it just sounds like a campaign characters. That's
so
one thing I
true.
like about those guys.
Corporal Colton.
Yeah, man. Anyways, boys, I think we'll wrap up here.
Yeah, for sure.
Guys, thank you so much for watching, guys. Austin James will have his shit all in the bio. We'll tag him and stuff. Stay tuned, guys. Thank you for watching, guys. Dirty Dog Pod out.
Oh, good shit, man. That was fun. Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Dirty Dog Podcast. North Point Brewing was nice enough to let us shoot on location. Austin, thank you so much for coming out, bro. I really appreciate it. Until next time, boys. Peace.